So one cool thing about programming is that people are very open to helping each other in the programming community. And one place we do this is on Stack Exchange or Stack Overflow. That's the website I'm at right now. And here you can ask your coding questions. So when you hit a problem and you try a zillion ways to fix it and you just cannot find the answer you need somewhere else on the internet, you can actually come and ask it. And there's a good chance that someone in the community will be able to help you out. So for instance, I've pulled up a random question that I asked at some point. I was trying to get a particular function to work and I couldn't get it to do what I wanted it to. And I had already checked out the background reading on the function and I had looked at some other posts on Stack Exchange, but nothing was quite what I needed and I just couldn't make it work. So I asked my question on here and you can see somebody answered it. Somebody who knew more than me about the topic came along and actually helped me modify my code to make it work. I submitted this as the correct answer because this worked incredibly well. So when you're posting on Stack Exchange, there are a few things to be aware of. You don't want to just throw up questions when you haven't already worked on them a little bit, or when you haven't already looked for the answer. You want to post your question and post it very, very clearly with no extra stuff. You also want to post a bit of your code and try and make it the shortest possible bit of your code. I actually like to make a new version of my code, sort of like a minimal version of my code that other people can run and see the problem that I'm getting, but it doesn't have, any extra stuff beyond just the part that causes the problem. And then you definitely want to post what you've already read, looking for the answer to this problem so that people aren't giving you redundant sources. And you want to follow up when somebody answers your question and verify the answer that works to your question. It's like a way of saying thanks, which actually we don't do. It might feel kind of weird. If somebody is going to answer your question, somebody you don't know, maybe across the world somewhere, this is very cool. You might feel like saying thanks in a comment, but that's actually something we don't do on Stack Exchange. We try and sort of keep things minimal so there's no extra junk. Giving that check mark and saying, this is the answer that was correct. That is the way of saying thanks on Stack. And you'll see, this might sound like sort of a lot of things to pack into a question, but it makes sure that people are only asking questions for things that they actually need to, so there's no clutter, and then it's easy to find information. So if you want to ask a question, all you have to do is put it in here. And helpfully, Stack Exchange actually has instructions that will tell you exactly what to include and exactly how to phrase this so that it's easiest to get an answer to your question and most helpful to people who come afterwards. So usually you can get the answer to your question just by searching it on here because there is a very good chance that someone has had the same question as you or has run into the same problem that you're running into before and someone else has already answered it on here for them. But if you can't find an answer, go ahead and post a question and see what happens. You may be surprised to find how helpful people are to you as you learn to code.